The Group Study Exchange it's a Rotary program that runs on an annual basis where young, I just about qualify, professionals aged between 25 and 40 who are in the earlier stages of their career get to experience the life and culture of another country, and at the same time have some of those days set aside. They're called vocational days, and where you go and see your job and how it's done in that country. So I read the letter, and they explained that this local Midlands district, District 1210, was exchanging with a Canadian district, District 5550, which covered the Canadian Prairies, so Ontario, Manitoba and Saskatchewan. Now, I was particularly interested in this because during my PhD, during the final phase of it, I used a particular technique in my analytical work, which was developed at the University of Saskatchewan in Saskatoon. And that technique had been turned into a commercial venture, and a company had been set up on their science park. And it was being used to advise farmers throughout the whole of Canada. So when I saw the word Saskatchewan mentioned, I thought, well, this is brilliant. This could be, if I managed to get a place in this team, I might be able to meet up with the people that developed this technique and meet the company as well, and see if we could explore some possible collaborative opportunities. For my vocational visits, I managed to see a number of labs. I went to Brandon Ag Research Station, and that was incredibly interesting. There were no students there, all research was going on, so I managed to see their labs and their facilities, and they were pretty impressive, I have to say. And then from the university labs, I visited the soil science department in Saskatchewan and Saskatoon. I managed to meet the company that I was referring to called Western Ag Innovations, and that was just very exciting. So I'm trying to explore some possibilities with the academics here and see how we can move that forward. Some engineering labs in Regina at the university there. One of their researchers showed me around her lab, and she's her specialism is working and looking at river flow systems and doing lots of chemical analyses. So it's not engineering like we do here. This is kind of environmental engineering. And then in Winnipeg, the University of Manitoba, I visited the soil science department there again. You can see a theme developing here, and their food science department. What I wanted to see particularly was what technical support they had for teaching and research, and how technical staff were organised and managed, and what facilities they had, how things were run, and particularly from a health and safety perspective. Because the district that we visited was so agricultural, and many of our visits were agriculturally focused, I suppose it brought me closer to agriculture in that sense. My role at Harper Adams is to manage the laboratories, and whilst we're obviously an agriculturally based institution, or land-based institution, and agriculture is what we're about, as I was travelling round, it kind of highlighted to me the fact that I actually don't know that much about UK agriculture, which sounds potty, I suppose, but coming back, it's made me kind of a bit more aware of the environment that I'm in and what people are doing and what's growing in the fields, what's not growing in the fields, and how things are done here. Perhaps one highlight of my trip was I got to drive a 420 horsepower tractor. It had 3 wheels on each corner. It was vast, and we did a little bit of ploughing because they had very, very wet weather over the last 2 years, and they were trying to till the ground a little bit to dry it out. So my engineering, I put a picture of this on my Facebook page, and my engineering colleagues here were very jealous because we don't have anything that big at all. So that's the joke, isn't it? I work at Harper Adams for 16 years, and I have to go to Canada to drive a tractor, and I've never done it here.
My name is Jody Jury, and I farm with my parents on a arable as well as a cow-calf beef operation in Manitoba, Neepawa, Manitoba, Canada. I applied for a Rotary program called Group Study Exchange, and I was fortunate enough to be chosen as one of 4 participants, and I'm over here learning about agriculture in the UK. I've been traveling around Shrewsbury mostly, so we were, actually I went to Hall's animal market on Tuesday, and we've been to Jackfield's Tile Museum and the Iron Bridge. we've been to so many places already. They pack such things into such a short period of time. So next I'm headed up to Stoke-on-Trent, and we're doing a little bit of Stafford and Wolverhampton as well. This morning I got a tour around the biodigester, and we have some in Canada, but I've never toured one, so that was quite interesting. And this one just opened a month or so ago, so had a tour around there. And I chatted with a couple of the teachers talking about some rural sustainability, and I had a tour around the labs with Victoria actually, and then I had a tour of the dairy barns. It's been great. People are all very nice. They answer any question that you have to ask, and yeah, I've enjoyed my day here, so it's been really nice. Canada is very much on a wide scale, so everything is very large, and farm sizes are very large, so it's kind of coming here, it's really neat seeing how farmers manage in such tight spaces and with all the hedges and the farming restrictions and zoning things. So yeah, it's been interesting.